Straight facts, homie. It's your boy Kate, man. You already know what time it is. We back with another episode. I know it's been a while since we dropped a video, but we back here with another heated debate. We're gonna try to produce more consistent content for you. This day specifically, we recorded like 4 episodes, so we back. Don't even worry about that. We're here to discuss the Drew Brees situation. I know a lot of people are picking the fence, so we just gonna get straight into it.
Yo, it's your boy Kate. Straight facts, homie. We back with another episode. For the topic today, we're gonna talk about Drew Brees. He had some comments in the media if you missed it. Pretty much, he did a sit-down interview, and he was pretty much talking about response to everything that's going on, talking about the flag and stuff of that nature. And just to paraphrase what he was saying, he was talking about things in nature like, my grandfather fought in the army, so I would never kneel. I don't agree with people kneeling. And he got a bunch of backlash for that interview. So he came out very next day and apologized about it. And there's still like some divide between it.
I cannot accept Drew Brees' apology whatsoever, because it just shows like probably it'll be iterated all over. That showed his true emotions, how he felt when asked like point blank like about the topic, and that's how it is with a lot of people. Like I think right now it's a lot of faking going on. Like a lot of people are gonna fake the movement just because they don't want any backlash. Because they're seeing stuff like that. Like what you say is what you meant. So your PR team come and say try to save your career after, you just trying to save your money at that point. You're trying to save your ass. So no, like now you know where he stands, and that's the same with everybody else that like says something crazy or wild. Like the first time, then now they're trying to come back and fix. They were trying to save the dollar bill. So that apology, throw that shit away, man. What you said is what you meant, and now we know what you said.
I agree with what he said about saving a dollar and things like that. But I mean, I feel like the world is struggling with forgiveness, and that's why we're not able to move on from a lot of things. So I mean, I would forgive him, bro. I forgive him. I believe that I made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I've done some ugly things before, bro. Like really ugly, and a lot of people were able to forgive me, and I was able to, gain that trust.
Right. So it's like looking at someone robbing a bank. Yeah, they're a terrible person robbed the bank. But if you knew they had like a 2-year-old kid that hadn't eaten like 3 days, and that kid was on the verge of dying because of famine, so they had to rob him. You know what I'm saying? Now that perspective changes. It's like I can forgive you because I understand why you did that. Him saying that has nothing to do with any need. That's just his like. I don't really care for y'all. What are we protesting at the end of the day?
Yeah, but he doesn't know that because he didn't grow up in a black community and he was raised.
But you don't have to know.
Drew Brees, I feel like he didn't have enough awareness. As great as a quarterback, he got pocket awareness, but he didn't have social awareness. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But the reason why I say personally, me as of right now, I'm gonna forgive him for right now though, because I gotta see how he move forward. Because I look at it from this perspective, right? Look at it like this. Drew Brees is a person in New Orleans. They said this was I'm not from New Orleans. I love New Orleans though. Drew Brees said. I mean, people have said Drew Brees have done a lot for New Orleans, right? And if you know, New Orleans is predominantly black. So unless Drew Brees is just helping people, white people in the cut on some don't, you know what I'm saying? He's helping out New Orleans, which is probably helping out black people, right? So my thing is, and Drew Brees, the way he said it, he didn't come off as a racist, bigot type of person. Like, he didn't say, oh, I don't care what they're going through. He just said the flag. And my thing about this is this, right? I keep the same energy. I'm the type of person, I follow the rules. I don't follow the players in the game. A lot of them black players, an apology to Kaepernick right now, because I remember when he was kneeling, they said, yo, man, not on the field. You tripping, Cap. Not on the field, not on the field. And it was black people. Black, Wesley Snipes black. Talking about not on the field, not on the field. So my thing is this. Drew Brees basically kept the same sentiment. He said, yo, I'm not with the kneeling because the flag. He didn't say, I'm not with the kneeling because I don't care about black people getting killed in the street by police. He didn't say that. So my thing is, he was saying what Ray Lewis was saying, not on the field, no kneeling. He was saying what Victor Cruz said, not on the field, military. He was saying what all these other people were saying as far as military-wise. So my thing is this, if we can forgive them and they coming back around talking about, yeah, man, black power, but just 4 years ago they were saying Cap not on the field, how we can't forgive Drew Brees?
So going back to the Kaepernick, his protest was what, 2016? It's been how many years now? So he said he didn't understand. So through all these years, you still don't understand what we're protesting about? So you're telling me, oh, you didn't understand after 4 years in your own league, you didn't understand what Kaepernick was standing for? So that tells me you're not aware of the situation. So you make a personal statement. Nobody made you give this personal statement saying that you disagree with it, and then the very next day is backlash, you want to apologize? No. That apology is not sincere because there's been years of this protesting, and you telling me you don't understand. You talking about your situation, comparing, oh, you made mistakes, move on for that. Drew Brees is 40 years old. Like, he's a grown-ass man who's
That don't
stuck in
mean
his way.
nothing,
No,
That don't mean nothing.
no, but your situation is different. You made mistakes as a child that you were talking about.
Yeah, I get that.
Drew Brees is a 40-year-old man.
Mhm.
Like, there's stages to that shit. So my thing is with the black community, we want to forgive everybody. We want people spitting in our face every day, and we want to just say kumbaya. And no, we have to stand for something. One thing in the protest, and Kaepernick did the protest yesterday, and he came out. I don't agree with it. They talked about. We all know it's not about the flag. It's 3 years later. Everybody knows it's not about the flag. So for him to come out and say this, backtrack immediately after he gave out a personal statement that nobody else made him give, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all.
Just like Armelis was saying, like, so actions speak louder than words, right? So we're gonna let words tear us down versus basically what you're saying was Drew Brees has done a lot for our community, right? Not saying what he said was right or wrong, but holding on to what he said too hard.
It's different.
We're holding on to what he said versus what niggas out here doing. This nigga ain't have his foot on nobody's neck.
Bro, it's
So what I'm saying is this.
how you carry yourself and what you say, they're all important. People are like, words are
I say
words are
shit all the
important.
time.
Kanye does a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of good stuff. He says a lot of stupid things with his action. Kanye has done a lot for the black community.
Okay.
There's been times we all know that Kanye been on a questionable coon break, but he's done a lot for the black community with his pockets, with his action at the end of the day.
Right.
That doesn't take away from what he's saying and saying some dumb coon shit.
Let's be real, it's nonsense. The conversation around the flag and kneeling and protesting, like I just said, has been going on for 4 years now? So he's had time to sit back and think and reflect. And the whole, I don't agree with it because of the flag and the military, I can say that's anti-black. And the reason I say it's anti-black is because that's a dismissive tactic to say, oh no, you can't say that because it's the military, because Colin Kaepernick and other prominent black figures have literally said it has nothing to do with the military. Members of the military have come out and said it has nothing to do with us. We fought for your freedom to protest. So we know, and people know it is not about the military. So for you to say, oh no, because of the military, you're with everyone else who's dismissing the movement and dismissing it off and pushing it to the side. Because I promise you, when he says, I don't agree because of the military, guess what else he doesn't agree with? He also doesn't agree with the looting. I promise you.
A lot of black people don't agree with the looting.
Listen to what I'm telling you.
I don't agree with the looting. I don't agree with the looting.
He doesn't agree with the looting. He doesn't agree with the flag. What does he agree with? Okay,
Did they ask that question?
No, that's an open-ended question. What does he agree with, right? And then you talk about him helping out people in New Orleans, right? I'm gonna tell you this. He helps people in New Orleans because he's a New Orleans saint, which also by default helps black people. Or is he reaching out to black people in specific? He's helping New Orleans. If he was listen. If New Orleans was a white city, he would help New Orleans. He's helping New Orleans because he's a saint, not because there are black disenfranchised people. So his apology is it's a PR statement. It's a PR because he's a white man who grew up in Austin, Texas, with other white people. There's no reason for him to accept and join the black fight. He's not going to. He's playing the middle because that's what he's supposed to do.
If Drew Brees right now would have came out and said, man, I don't care about that shit. Y'all niggas can cry all y'all want. He would have a fan base like Trump got a fan base. Right? So he didn't have to come out and say, yo, my bad, I'm sorry. He loses nothing. Because I'm pretty sure most of Drew Brees fans are white people.
No,
they're not. Hold on, let me finish. He kept his stance and they would have been vibing with him like, yeah, Drew Brees. So I look at it from this perspective, right? Like he said, Drew Brees a 40-year-old white man, right? You know how hard it is to change your mindset the older you get? If Drew Brees was an 18-year-old, he grew up, let me finish, bro. He grew up listening to the Future, Migos, like with people like me and Daryl. I'd be like, yo, you're wildin', bro. You literally grown up with us. If Drew Brees is a 40-year-old white man who grew up around white people, he didn't grow up around black people. And so, I mean, he played football and stuff, but football is a sport. We got a job to do. Let's go home. If Drew Brees wanted to be on some racist stuff, he could have stayed and said, yo, this is my stance. I'm dying on it. Let me be. Agree to disagree. The man made 3 statements. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't need black people in America. He has enough money. He has enough white backing where he does not have to say sorry 3 times back to back days. He does not. And my thing is this. We spanked him publicly. We made him feel our pain. And the man says he want to change. Give him another chance. Like, what more y'all want him to do in the last 3 days? Drew Brees doesn't change? Yo, I swear, I'm going to spank him. My voice don't mean nothing right now, but I'm going to be on Drew Brees every single day on his page. Man, all types of different stuff. No, man, I'm talking about, I'm gonna write letters, whatever we gotta do. I'm gonna go to New Orleans and march on Drew Brees. If he don't do it,
If we wanted to bring about change, right? Black people, as much power we have, we don't have the people in power to actually cause change, right? So why are we protesting? To make the people that are white in power uncomfortable enough to change. If one of the, he's up there status-wise, right? Mm-hmm. Says a comment like that, and then he backtraces, right? That shows you he wasn't, maybe now he's trying to change, but originally he's hearing our cause, but he doesn't care enough. And this is why change will not happen, because he might backtrack now, be like, I'm sorry, but internally, you can't believe that because he's not going to actually go do something to cause change.
Hey, but you're a part of the problem now too. You're a part of the problem now too. Because because if you don't forgive somebody and you don't allow them to change, we're not going to have change.
It's not about change.
But that's what you just said.
No, it's not about, we're going to talk and we're going to protest, right? If he doesn't know what that protest is for and he's still like, I'm not for the protesting, right? I'm not for the kneeling. How do you think that the people in power are gonna react to that same protest that we're supposed to be making? They're thinking the same thing. So him backing is not sincere. That means he's gonna say that, but it's all about action, right? Like you said, it's all about action, and we want change. The only way to change is action.
Let's say he made a statement in 2016 when it happened. Nobody would be crucifying him, telling him to apologize, and there would be no apology. There will be no apology because that's the way he feels, and it's like I said, it's a popular. I promise you. There will be no apology made because it will be a popular. It was popular to go against the kneeling, so there will be no apology to make for it because that's the way he feels. So now in 2020, now that it's unpopular, he came out and made a statement on his own. Now that there's backlash, this is a way that he's been feeling his whole life. The next day that there's backlash, he won't apologize. The very next day.
Hold on.
Give it a week.
My thing is, you honestly don't know how you're making somebody else feel until they tell you. Drew Brees, after he said that, a lot of people was calling him. He said he spoke with different people. They said, Drew Brees, this is how I feel. And he probably sat there and was like, dog, I promise you, I didn't know it was that deep as far as the flag thing still. Let me finish.
Because he's not black.
He's not black. He's not black. So my thing is,
But he's in an establishment. But he's in an establishment.
As far as like he's not black, right? So it's not about. It's like the same thing. It's some things that women go through. I can't understand. So my thing is this. I might say something, but they be like, that's not sensitive enough, or that's not right. That's not right. Whole time I'm thinking like, oh, I didn't know it was that deep. So they like really elaborate on it, like, oh, okay, my bad. I didn't catch it. Yo, forgive me on that. But if I do it again, then don't let me breathe. I got a question. Hey, bring it back. Niggas says no, like, oh, defend Drew Brees campaign and that. But what is this, right? The thing is this. We can't throw Drew Brees in with the racist white people because let me finish because that's what they're trying to do. Yeah. And they're trying to use like tactics that white people use on black people and say, oh, well, such and such did that, so all y'all do that shit because you said this and you said that. Nah.
At the end of the day, the conversation started 4 years ago. 4 years ago, he had a long time to think. I'm sure he's heard both sides. He heard Colin Kaepernick himself say it's not about the military. He heard him talk about police brutality. He sees that, we did peaceful protests, and we've been killed in the streets. We've done violent protests and we were killed in the streets. So they wanted to ask him, if continuing to kneel during the anthem was the way to go. He said no. They had to ask him what is the solution. He hasn't offered a solution. I think he drew a line in the sand as to where he stands and how he thinks we should protest. And I'm going to hold him to that. I'm not going to hold him to the apology that was issued a day later when he had 4 years to think about how he felt. I'm going to hold him to how he felt, during those 4 years and leading up to, everything before that apology. I'm going to hold him to that standard.
Drew Brees, to me, don't come off as a bigot, unchangeable person. Drew Brees come off like somebody who wasn't aware of the situation. He thought it was still about the flag, this and that. Even though they said it wasn't. But it was also a lot of other people that was black that looked like us that thought it was about the flag, even though Kaepernick said it wasn't, and we forgave them. And my thing is this. I'm not one of these people that use the same tactics as the oppressor's going to use and then turn around and say, oh, bad oppressor. My thing is this. The oppressor want to keep this stigma of black people like this is how it is, they thugs, they this, they that, and they try to make black people change into things to make them feel more comfortable. My thing is with Drew Brees is, okay, cool, we told Drew Brees it's not that. Like I said, Drew Brees doesn't need anybody else's money. The dude is filthy rich. The dude is straight forever. He got fuck you money. Drew Brees can literally walk around telling people like this. He doesn't need another jersey sold. He don't need to throw another yard. He's going to the Hall of Fame, and he's straight. He's filthy rich. So for him to really come out and keep every day, it wasn't one statement. Because we see celebrities do one statement, then go away, and then whatever. Drew Brees came out with a statement 3 straight days. 3 straight. You don't have to do that as Drew Brees.
Him not, the idea of, oh, you gotta understand where he come from, he doesn't know about it, it's just dismissing the whole movement as ignorance, and your ignorance is dismissing what we stand for at this point. Because he's literally in the institution that blackball Kaepernick for doing the same thing, so I can't accept it. Especially at the day after you do something. The thing is, no one made him make this statement. He went on TV and said, yo, this is how I feel. Nobody would disrespect my flag. So if that's how you truly feel about something, that's how you feel. Because my thing, I feel like most black people respect Drew Brees. Drew Brees was cool to me, but after this, I can't look at him in the same light. I'm not going to blackball and hate Drew Brees. Let's start a hate Drew Brees movement. But at the end of the day, I just can't rock with it. Now, if he does stuff for moving on in the future, that's good with him. But at the end of the day, bro, that's how you feel, bro. Until people made you put that pressure on you, because if you said this comment in 2016, nobody put this pressure on you, and you feel the exact same way. So, I mean, that's how you feel, bro, and this is how I feel about it.